Dear students, our today's topic is Public Relations in Physical Education. Introduction. Physical education and sports is very important part of organized educational efforts, since it is an instrument of health, fitness, performance and excellence. Despite the importance of this subject, its true image has not been well publicized. People in general are unaware of the importance of this subject, since we know all about its inherent philosophy, ideas, values and objectives. Physical educators, on the other hand, are not aware about what people think and feel about physical education and sports. Through public relations, physical education can improve their effectiveness by winning broader and more favorable public support for their programs. Teachers of physical education and sports have greater public opportunities and responsibilities as compared to others. For example, sports and athletic events are of particular interest to the public and attract a lot of fan support and media coverage. Now we are coming to definitions. 1. According to Benjamin Fine, public relation is more than a set of rules. It carries broad concept. It is the entire body of relationship that go to make up impression of an individual, an organization or an idea. Number 2. According to Cutcliffe Center and Broom 2000, the management function that identifies, establishes and maintains mutually beneficial relationship between an organization and the various publics on whom its success or failure depends. Number 3. According to Stoll, Pratt and Jackson 2003, organizational function that foster the development of positive relationship between the organization and its important public. Number 4. According to Green 1992, a comprehensive study of public relations practiced in various settings. They describe public relations as the management of communication between an organization and its public. Number 5. According to PRSC, Public Relations Society of America, public relation helps an organization and its public adapt mutually to each other. Public relations broadly apply to organizations as a collective group, not just a business, and publics encompass the variety of different stakeholders. Number 6. According to Mark Burgess, public relations focus on building good relations with the company's various public by obtaining favorable publicity, building a good corporate image and handling crisis management issues. Today, a good public relations firm must be expert in use of social media. Next, coming to meaning. The modern concept of public relation has emerged from the term publicity. Educational institutions have been concerned with publicity for many years, but research has proved that much more publicity is needed to secure public support and understanding. Public relations are a much broader topic than publicity. Although publicity is its major tool, public relations is concerned with all the impression that people receive rather than those obtained only through various publicity media. In addition to the information that is transmitted via a radio, television and newspaper, public relations for physical education involves all the relationship that the various staff members have with students, parents, other teachers, administrators and the general public. It also involves the impression obtained from the secretary intramural, extramural, and other tournaments, equipment room manager, storekeeper, and other personnel associated with physical education department. It also includes the visual and audio impression received from the athletic field, gymnasium, swimming pool, and locker and shower rooms. Public relations is the practice of managing the spread of information between an individual or an organization, that is, such as a business, government agency, or an non-profit organization, and the public. Public relations may include an organization or individual gaining exposure to their audiences using topics of public interest and news items that do not require direct payment. This differentiates it from advertising as a form of marketing communications. Public relations are the idea of creating coverage for clients for free rather than marketing or advertising. An example of good public relations would be generating an article featuring a client rather than paying for the client to be advertised next to the article. The aim of public relations is to inform the public, prospective customers, investors, partners, employees, and other stakeholders, and ultimately persuade them to maintain a certain view about the organization, its leadership, products, or political decision. Public relations professionals typically work for public relations and marketing firms, business and companies, government and public officials as non-governmental organizations, and non-profit organizations. Success in the field of public relations requires a deep understanding of the interest and concern of each of the client's many publics. The public relations professionals must know how to effectively address those concerns using the most powerful tool of the public relations trade, which is publicity. Public relations and journalism have similarities in the work they do. Yet, these two fields don't necessarily have the greatest relationship, being described as adversaries at times. Public relations can be thought of as both an attitude and a process. As an attitude, it involves realistic optimism and positive thinking. As a process, it involves open and effective communication, with emphasis on the good and the positive. Public relation includes both performance and communication used to form beneficial relationship with the public. It is wrong to use the word public relation to define some of its functional roles such as publicity, press agency, and institutional advertising. These roles, however, are important but do not comprise the whole of public relations. In reality, these functional roles are mere tools of public relations, not public relation itself. Now let's see need for a public relations program in physical education. According to Stewart Harrell, public relations seek to bring about a harmony of understanding between any group and the public it serves and upon whose goodwill it depends. People in general are ignorant about the role of physical education in education. They think that academics are more important than sports. They feel that physical activities is a sheer wastage of time. Parents want their children to opt for science, commerce, or computer at school or college level, but not for physical education. Their rigid mindsets do not allow them to look at physical education beyond the horizon of physically. Lack of public relation is responsible for this state of affairs. The need of public relations become clearer from the following points. Number 1. In all democratic setups, the public has the right to ask for information about anything that happens in physical education and sports in the institution. Number 2. Public relation is essential for reaching out to public. Without an effective program of public relations, it is impossible to make the student, parents, teacher, and outsider aware and interested in physical education programs. Number 3. Public relation in physical education is needed to make people aware of the psychological, physiological, and economic benefit of sports and physical education. It should also highlight the incentives and achievement avenues available for the participants. Number 4. The physical education and sports personnel must bring to the notice of general public the objective of physical, mental, intellectual, and social development of physical education programs. Here comes the principles to be followed for a good public relation program. There are certain principles or guidelines that constitute a good basis for any public relations program in physical education and sports that is going to be effective. These principles are discussed as follows. Number 1. No programming of physical education and sports can avoid public relations. Public relation is an instrument of image projection, progress and prosperity of an institution. Only good programs cannot have good image if the public relations with outside world are poor. On the other hand, an institution with limited facilities and programs can have very good public image because of good public relations. Number 2. The public relation program should be clearly planned, including objectives, procedures, responsibilities, and expected results. The better the program is known and understood, the less effort would be needed to make it a grand success. Number 3. Flexibility and adaptability are essential for a good public relations program. It is very essential to adjust to changing circumstances and also to take advantage of unexpected opportunities. Number 4. The institution should have a superior program of public relations. An institution cannot expect public support for the programs with poor public relation program. Number 5. If possible, full-time staff should be assigned exclusively for public relations. The whole-time staff can be trained well in handling sensitive matters. Number 6. Public relations, like other programs of the institution, require both near and long-term comprehensive planning. Number 7. An effective public relation program should have the support and cooperation of administrative staff and teachers within the institution. The internal support will strengthen the effort and plan for obtaining external cooperation. Number 8. Physical educators should have right perceptions and perspective about their acts and activities and should also be able to explain these to the others also. Those who are directly responsible for public relations should possess thorough knowledge of the philosophy, policies, principles, and programs of physical education and the service the department can render and the facilities that may be offered to the public. Number 9. The public relations program must be based upon truth. All facts, data, and interpretations that are reported to the public must be presented impersonally, unselfishly and honestly. By the very nature of public relations, any misrepresentation will invariably create adverse public opinions. 10. Adequate funding is very essential for public relations as for other aspects of physical education and sports. Adequate funds must be ensured to make public relations more viable and vibrant. If funding is inadequate, the success of physical education and sports program can be jeopardized. Number 11. Public relations should be a two-way process between the community and institutions. It should project the image of the institution to the outside world and to monitor what outsiders think and feel about the institution and its activities. Because of this two-way communication, everyone associated with physical education and sports become sensitive to the positive, genuine and legitimate criticism of the public. Introspection, self-appraisal and analysis of the institution can lead to the substantial improvement of the department and the institution. Number 12. A good plan of public relations should make use of all kinds of media, resources and machinery to keep the public informed about each and every important points of physical education and sports. This is very essential to win public support for the institution program. Now here comes the conclusion of today's topic. Good and effective public relations is emphasized in physical education and sports and other sectors of work in society, basing on the fact that no person or group of persons can live in isolation. The element of interdependence is inevitable. To achieve success in their work, physical education and sports administrators and managers need the support of other people, most of whom they encounter in the course of carrying out their duties. They are therefore compelled to establish good and meaningful relations with people who have interest in physical education and sports, and whom they encounter in their fields of work and whose support is necessary in their endeavors of developing physical education and sports. This much for today. Thank you so much.